Hi, Jim. So, this is a brief tour of my online course, and this would be for an honors world history class, and it's geared towards students who want something a little more rigorous and maybe a little more skill based than our standard world history at Woodbury High School, but don't feel like they're ready to take on the workload or the amount of rigor that's in AP World. And this is also a class that could be geared toward kids that want a more flexible schedule. The way it's set up is that they meet in class in a traditional classroom twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday. And then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, there'll be digital days where typically each day something is due at midnight that night that they'll do on their own. And so at the top of the page is an announcement, and any announcements that get posted up here. This goes through Schoology, and all archived announcements go at the bottom. So if a kid misses something or they want to see an old announcement because there's something important they want to see again, they can just go there to the archived announcements. One thing to point out about Schoology, this version does not have all the capabilities and features that our district has for Schoology. As you know, there's been issues with trying to get you access on our school courses. But the students in District 833 have the ability to submit work through Schoology. If I post a Google Doc as an assignment, it automatically populates and gives every kid a copy of that Google Doc that they can edit, and they can also submit right through Schoology. And I can also watch and track them as they do that. So yours don't have that capabilities because you're not a just 833 student. And I guess the licensing works that way for this package that our district bought. But that's how it would look. So for a lot of the assignments, it says, submit through Schoology or complete this doc and submit. And it probably looks a little awkward for you. But those would be features that are available on their Schoology platform. So beyond the announcements, we then have the getting started page folder. Kids will do this right away as they're prompted to at the first announcement. There's a course introduction video. It's a picture video of me talking and a PowerPoint where I go through the syllabus and expectations and the class schedule. And that PowerPoint that I'd use in that video is right here. So kids can see that there if they want to look at it later. And then the syllabus is here, and then the how to contact your teacher and use and view the course calendar is here as well. And the course calendar can be accessed right here. If I actually posted due dates for the assignments, they would pop up in a feed right here, which is kind of nice. Or they can click on the calendar and it'll pop up a calendar that they can click on. It also here tells the kids to do the orientation activities. And so in theory, I'd have students do these like the first assignment. They would do some etiquette stuff since there's a lot of online discussions and interactions online and just appropriate research behavior and trying to avoid plagiarism with digital information. They would watch these netiquette videos and do the netiquette quiz. And they'd also do the Schoology tutorial. We still have a lot of kids that are kind of struggling to use Schoology, and not everybody in our district uses it well. So this would be a way for kids to kind of figure out the basics. Since they'll be doing a lot of things on their own through Schoology, if they have questions, they can always go here and watch a lot of these videos to kind of figure out what they need to do. And then your standard icebreaker activity, kids explaining who they are and posting some pictures, trying to build that online community. That task is probably less necessary for a hybrid course since they're going to be in class physically doing things with each other quite a bit. A lot of the in-class stuff will be like interactive group work and problem solving since they're getting a lot of the direct instruction information digitally. But still good to do, still good to practice that. And then the big meat of the course page would be the learning activities. And so I have all of them stationed here. And what I do is I would change the color. So I'd probably keep the folders hidden until we get to that unit. And then the folder color would be purple. And then when we're done with the unit, I'd maybe change the color to red. And so all units that are completed would be red, and units that we're on would be purple or blue, just so they can kind of, I don't know, it's a visual to be consistent. And I'll open up the most recent one, the UDL folder, to kind of show what it looks like. But you've already seen a couple of these. They would click on the learning module. The first thing they would look at is the introduction and learning objectives checklist. And the intro will give a brief little narrative of what we're learning about and then what to expect throughout the week. And then the learning objectives are going to be clearly posted. Typically, there's 3 to 5 of these for each unit, and they align with the different activities that they do digitally, classroom tasks, and the summative assessment typically. And then there's a calendar below that goes a little more into detail. Black text would be stuff that students would do digitally on their own, and red text would be things we're doing in the traditional classroom environment. And so things that we do in the classroom, I didn't post on here just because a lot of it is like interactive and not like a physical, tangible thing. Like for, I think, Thursday this week, we do depression Jenga, where like we play Jenga, and on each block, it's a cause of the Great Depression. So they can't like post that on here. But you kind of get the idea. So each day is listed what they'll do. Due dates are posted here, and they can always kind of look at this if they have questions they want to know what they're expected to do throughout the unit. And then beyond the introduction learning objective checklist, the different activities, these are all for digital day activities. They're posted here. I mean, click on any of these and you kind of get the idea, but there'll be some photos at the top to sort of get a little bit of visual, but not to make the site too cluttered or distracting. And then a description of what they need to do, and then any kind of resources that are necessary for the task are here, along with sometimes additional resources that supplement or further aid the students. For this UDL unit, this learning module 4 is my UDL unit. As you go through it, you'll probably see that like most assignments, kids have an option as far as how they want to turn it in. So if I go to, let's see, the age of anxiety here, this is just students getting content, and they can either read from the textbook, and the passages are here, page numbers are posted for them where they need to go, or I also made a recorded lecture of me talking about the major ideas so they could listen to it. And they can also turn on the closed captioning. So if they want to read while they're watching the lecture instead of reading the text, they could do that as well. So they tend to have options as far as how they get their content for this UDL unit. And then there's 2 big activities that are meant to embrace universal design for learning. Activity number 3 is the first one, where basically kids can choose whatever method they want for just demonstrating what they know about the time period of the 1920s and the 1930s. And this is the wrong one. But yeah, they can do whatever they want for showing what they know, whether it's making a video, newspaper, and the directions for this assignment will show like ways that recommendations that I have and what you need to do. But the kids have freedom to pick how best they want to show what they understand. And then with the final performance assessment, which is a summative assessment, students have 2 options for how they can perform the task. They can pick between the 2, and there's tutorials for what they need to do. And if they want to use a different approach for showing this knowledge, I put a note in there that they can let me know if they want to do something different, and just got to run it by me first, and they can do that if they'd like. But the rubrics are designed so that these tasks can be completed in a variety of ways, and that there's a clear picture of what they need to do for showing content and skill, but it's really flexible for how they do it. So hopefully it accommodates a variety of learners' needs. Hopefully this is all that you need to hear for the tour, and hope it makes sense. Thanks for being such a understanding and helpful instructor this semester.